Hello and welcome to my channel Love Plants with Low Budget. What we talk about here is that you can enjoy the plants, you can have the plants in your house or outside without spending too much money. So that includes that you can divide your own plants, or you can get the cutting from someone, or when somebody is dividing the plants you can take the plants from there. Also, you can buy the discounted plants from the market. Today going to talk about this plant. You can see this is called alocasia, or elephant's ear, and this particular one is called Amazonian elephant's ear. Now, this usually is pretty expensive plant. You can see here this was for $20. But when I saw this in a store, it was pretty dry, and all the bottom leaves were yellow, all the leaves were wilting, but they had not reduced anything at all. So I wanted to buy, and I requested them. The assistant manager was nice enough to reduce it to me to 75% off. So I got this plant for $5, which is a really good deal. And when you're buying the discounted plant, this type, what you have to see, although the bottom leaves would be yellow, drying, dying, top can be wilted, but you have to see the center leaves. They should be nice. They should be in a good shape. It means your plant itself is good, only the bottom leaves are dying. So you can cut those ones off, which I'm going to do now. And the bottom, this center ones, it means it's going to come nice leaves a little later on for you. So I bought this plant. This has a sleeve. So first I'm going to do, I will take the sleeve off from my plant. Come on. Sometimes it's a little hard. Actually, most of the times it is hard to take this off the sleeve. So sleeve, we're going to put it here, and here it is. And you can see that there are some roots coming down here. So I would be repotting them, but not now. Because I just bought this last week. All right, so what you have to do first thing, because it was really dry, so I just kept this in the garage, didn't bring it inside, because I don't bring any plant inside right away, because they might have some bugs or something. So you will have the bugs in your house, and they will go to other plants also. So I kept it in the garage, and first thing I did, that I watered it really well. So when I saw after a couple of hours or something, when this plant was getting some life, then I sprayed it with my soap and water and a little bit hydrogen peroxide, very small, because this doesn't take that much hydrogen peroxide. It doesn't like that much. So I just did that. So any bug, whatever they have there, if they do, they'll get killed. And then I left it in the garage for 3-4 hours, and then I brought it and kept it in my bathroom. Still, I didn't want to bring in my house with other plants. And then next day I washed it thoroughly, all the leaves and everything, so I don't get any bugs. Whatever is there will get washed out. All right, so that was the first step I did. Then what I did, I started cutting the leaves, whichever was yellow. You can see I have these leaves. I have cut these tons of them. I have been cutting for last 1 week. So whatever gets yellow, I cut those ones, because you don't want to cut all the leaves at once, because if they're not yellow, like you can see, some of them were yellow and some of them were like drying from these sides here. but this leaf was green, but this is dry. And some of them were, as I said, were yellow, as yellow or maybe more like this one. So I just cut the bottom ones first, and this was not yellow at that time, so I didn't cut it. So eventually they are going to die, these ones, but you don't want to cut at once because they are still making the food for the plant, and plus the plant would go in shock when you're just cutting all the leaves, right? So you don't want to do that. So I started cutting the bottom ones first, whichever was getting yellow. So I just kept cutting those ones. And so today we are seeing that we have this one which is getting yellow. At that time it was just dry from the sides. So some of them were dying from the side, like this one. So I had cut the sides from here because I didn't want to cut the whole leaf. That is going to might kill my plant. So if you care that these are not looking good, you can cut them, right? And you can keep the leaf like this. So I had done that, and I had done a couple of more, but then they started getting yellow. Like this one is getting yellow, so we're going to cut this one we're not going to cut all the way down. I don't want to do that. So we're going to cut about 2 inches above the root, right? And later on when it dries, then we can cut more, but I don't want to do more than that. Like this, can you see this one right here, small here? All right, so we have cut this one, and like these ones I'm talking about, they are still drying from the sides. So you can cut, let me get the bigger scissors. Yeah, so you can cut these ones like this. So this leaf eventually will die, but right now we don't want to cut the whole leaf. When it dies, we'll cut it, but we're just cutting the sides so the leaf looks a little better, and plant doesn't spend a lot of energy to repair this, right? Okay. So yeah, so there are, and then the center leaves I have got, these ones are perfect. I got new leaves right here. So there are 4 plants, all 4 have got new leaves. Like 2 of them are up here, and more are coming right after. So it's growing. I know this is doing well here. All right, so now, so this was the first step you need to do. So your plant looks healthy, and your plant is not spending too much money to repair the damage of your leaves, right? And thus is still making some food for the plant. So if you can cut them, I'm cutting and I'll cut later, but yeah, just showed you guys what to do. I'll cut them later because there are some more are getting the same thing, but these ones are just perfect. You can see they're pretty nice one. New ones are coming up. All right, so this now it comes, I live in zone 6B to 7. So this plant cannot survive outside, so we keep it indoors. But if you live in zone 9 to 11, this plant can survive outside also. Now, what happens, this would be green all year round, most probably. But sometimes they go dormant for the winter, but it will come back in the spring. So just have patience, don't throw it away. Now, this plant actually, if you have pets in your house, so you have to be careful. You have to keep it somewhere high so your pets can't reach there, but actually cats can go everywhere. So I would suggest not to have it because this is toxic for the humans also. So do not consume in any ways. Now, we're talking about now the lights. So light, this doesn't like the direct sun. So don't put in the direct sun. Medium to bright light would be fine, but bright light, no sun, no direct sun at all. So medium light, it prefers medium light. Keep it somewhere in the north facing window or something, wherever the window gets enough light. So it will start growing towards the light. So if you want, either you have to just keep changing the direction when it starts growing, but leaves will fall anyway towards to the window. So you can keep somewhere in the center where it will not be going towards the window as a total plant, right? So you can do that. Now the water, it likes moist soil, so don't let it dry completely. Like when you see about 1 inch on the top is drying, you can touch, or you can use your meter to measure. Now mine is showing it's showing kind of a little dry, so but I'm not going to water it today because still it's all right, because topsoil should be drying before I water it. So I wouldn't do it, but when you see it shows dry, then you can just water. And over watering, it doesn't like, and no plant likes over watering, so please do not over water it. Now when it comes to propagating this one, you have to propagate with the plant. Like it cannot be propagated with the leaves or just cutting kind of things. When you're dividing, or someone is dividing, changing the pot or something, or it's too big, then you can just take one plant and then repot it in some different plant. That's how you can propagate it. Fertilizer, in the spring it grows, right? It's spring to summer, so you keep fertilizing it every 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah, 2 to 3 weeks would be fine, but in the winter you don't have to fertilize. You can just do sometimes in a couple of months, once in a couple of months, or if you do fertilize to your other plants, then just give a little bit once a month kind of thing. But you don't have to. You can put little Epsom salt in this one, and then fungicide you can spray. And the other thing, it likes little humidity. So if you have a humidifier, you run the humidifier for this, right? You can spray sometimes, like maybe once a week, very little, because you don't want to do too much spray, because they would get some sort of fungus on these ones, on the leaves. So you don't want to do too much. You can just do light spray once a week, but they need more humidity than once a week spraying. So what you can do, you can put a pebble tray under it, or you can just put some water in a pot or something right next to it, open pot. So you will take the water from there. Yeah, that's all pretty much for this plant. Is quite pretty, and you don't have to do much if you're just putting watering right, and putting in a right place, in the bright light kind of thing, like and then keep cutting the dead leaves. So yeah, that's all pretty much. It's a pretty plant, and that's all you can do to have a nice plant in your house. So that's all from me. Thank you very much for watching. If you like my video, please do like it, and do subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. I'll see you some other time. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.